Signs of prescription drug abuse. Looking for prescription drugs or suspicious activity around the medicine cabinet. Becoming irritable or anxious when opiates are not available. Constricted pupil, itching and scratching. Skipping work, class, or other activities. Nodding or falling in and out of sleep. Becoming sick when not using opiates. And displaying cold-like symptoms. And appearing fine shortly after.
Okay, my name is Sean Reed. I'm 29 years old. I grew up Richmond, Virginia all my life, in a single family home. My mom raised me, my sister, and my brother. Me and my brother 22 months apart. My sister is the oldest. I'm the baby boy. We been living in Richmond all our life. Come from a well family. Got good memories of my childhood. Heavy in sports involved. My mom always kept us in, things to do to keep us occupied. Because growing up in the city of Richmond can be easy to deviate based on environmental factors. But she always kept us in the sports, Boys and Girls Club. We always went on summer trips. Small family, but very close-knit. Nothing but good memories of my childhood. We moved to Northside in about 2001, moved to the north side of Richmond. And that's when things kind of started to take a turn to the left as far as me being more attracted to the street life. Guys outside, selling drugs, running to cars, dressing real nice. Those were the guys I became to be attracted to. Kind of that excitement of the street life always kind of caught my attention, but my mom always kept us focused as I think back. But I was introduced to Percocets by bodily injuries. One being, I got my jaw broken in 2006. Was real drunk at a nightclub, and I started an argument with an individual. And I remember waking up outside the club, so I guess I lost that fight. But that's the last thing I remember. I was spitting out blood on the side of the bouncer. I'm beat up. He put me out the club. But I had my mouth wired shut for about 9 or 10 weeks. My mama did an excellent job of nursing me back to health, but with a bad attitude, I smelled her cooking food and kind of get mad because I couldn't eat solid food. I was on a liquid diet for the whole length of that mouth being wired shut. They prescribed me a large, I guess it was about a 3-pint bottle, and it was liquid Percocets. And I had this syringe in between the splits, the gaps in my teeth to bear with the pain. I didn't really like the feeling at first. I know it kind of gave me like a warm sensation, but I never really indulged into it or kind of went into full-blown active addiction with the liquid form, because I guess it was kind of like an introduction. I couldn't smoke marijuana because I couldn't inhale correctly because my mouth was wired shut. That was my first drug of choice. I love marijuana. But the pills kind of gave me a different type of high. Kind of like, not that paranoia or hee ha ha like the weed did, but kind of like a nod, so to speak. So that was my first introduction to prescription pills. Another incident after that, I was sitting on the porch with me and my brother, and this guy came on the porch. He put the gun to my head. My brother pushed him. I jumped off the side of the banister. My brother ran the other way, and I kind of bruised my hip, like a hip pointer they called it, but he prescribed me Percocets again. So with the first introduction and with the hip being bruised, he go around too. Okay, I know with these things, I'm starting to like them more. But then again, I still wasn't heavily addicted to it. I still was kind of chasing the marijuana around. It was the 3rd of July in 2008. And a fight broke out earlier in that day. It was the eve of 4th of July, if that makes sense. But a fight broke out earlier that day, and around about 12:08 a.m. Because I remember looking at my phone when it hit the ground after I got shot and seeing that it was like 12:08 in the morning. And I got shot in my right thigh. It was they were shooting a high-powered assault rifle and 40 caliber handgun. I don't know what brand it was, but I got shot with a 40 caliber handgun. It went straight through my leg. But I remember getting on the back of the ambulance, and it was like these bright lights, sort of like these and it looked like a halo that was around the guy's head. Something like, and I asked him, was I gonna die? Because I lost a whole lot of blood. I remember breathing in real deep. And after I asked him, was I gonna die, I kind of got excited because I knew I was ready to get some more prescription pills. So everything traumatic that I supposed to have been thinking about went slammed to the left because I'm excited about the pills I'm ready to get. Here go the progressiveness of the disease that we talk about when we talk about the disease of addiction. My life on the line, I'm more concerned about the pills that I'm ready to get. And I can remember my mom coming to the hospital. She all up in arms, like, when you gonna get your life together? When you gonna get your life together? But I'm so wrapped up in the pills, like, they just completely transformed the Sean Reed that she knew to this different individual that's just all over the place. Don't know left from right, up from down, night from day. Because along with the pill addiction, I was addicted to the lifestyle as well. Go back in hindsight, when I said I was being attracted to the guys out there, I wanted to be that person. Because my mom raised us like some squares. Go to school, don't cut class, you know what I'm saying? Do what you gotta do. But at the same time, it was something about them dudes that was cutting class and getting all the females. I wanted to be that person, man. Like, cause I ain't never been a bad looking guy, but at the same time, the people that the females was liking in high school, I wasn't really that person. I had a couple girls chasing me around, but at the same time, I wanted to be that street individual. But I raised in a structured environment, that's not Sean, you know what I'm saying? And I'm becoming to learn that person more and more and be comfortable with Sean Reed. My mom was more concerned about my well-being than I was. I'm more concerned about the amount of pills I'm ready to get versus she had a possibility of losing her son. Because it's a major artery in your right thigh that the football player named Sean Taylor, he got shot in the same exact spot, and mine was like 2 inches away from that major artery that I could have bled to death on the way to the hospital and died based on the amount of blood that I was losing and the location of the bullet wound. But I didn't see the severity of the situation based on, now I got a rep, I done got shot, Sean done got shot, he has shown enough, he out here now. You know what I'm saying? Almost like a strike, war wound, street ties type thing. So I'm kind of excited about that. People coming to see me, Sean, you all right? All the fellas from around the way coming to my mama porch. Most everybody couldn't come on my mama porch based on how she raised us. She saw the way I was going. I know he gonna have friends. I'm gonna let him be weird, but look, Jack, the whole boulevard ain't coming to my mama house. When they used to come see me, they used to stand up across the street and ask her was Sean there. They wouldn't come knock on their door. But I remember going back out there on crutches and hanging back out there again. And then there was another incident. I ain't want to leave the block for nothing, man. It was just something about the corner store. It just was that infatuation with the streets. My mama kind of letting me be, so I'm kind of can do my own thing now. So I'm just experimenting. Like, I love this lifestyle. Like, and my sister told me one day, she like, Sean, you out here, you look like a pit bull in a skirt. I said, what that mean? She said, you look like somebody that can be out here, but you can tell that's not who you are for real, for real. I felt insulted by it, but at the same time, she was trying to open my eyes to like, look, Jack, this is not who you are for real, for real. No. I just wanted to be that individual. But now I didn't learn, like, what a man is. Like, it ain't about what you do or how someone perceives you. It's about how you take care of your family and what you do to take care of your family that makes you a man. But I just wanted to be that, you know, that person, man. But that's not Sean for real. For it's so easy to be me right here. Ain't nothing. That's what real is, being authentic. It just flows natural this way. But I can remember the incident, fast forward again after the gunshot wound. I was out there standing and talking to a friend of mine, the same guy I was with when I got shot. And I was standing on the passenger side of the door. The vans, it was either a van or a truck or something, somebody out the sunroof, 2 people out the back passenger window and the driver window. They shot at everybody on the corner first, and then when they stopped at me and a friend of mine's car, they started shooting like close range, like a step away, and I crawled underneath the car. I don't know if my mind was playing tricks on me, but I thought I seen the people get out the truck and was ready to walk up under the car and shoot up under the car where I was at. Or my friend pull off and roll over me with that 3,000-pound car, how much a car weigh. 2 ways to get possibly killed, just still chasing the lifestyle after so many warning signs.
Always know what you're taking. The opiate epidemic originated with the overprescription of pain relievers that were marketed as being non-addictive. Be informed. Many people do not know they are being prescribed an opiate. Here are some questions you can ask your doctor the next time you are given a pain reliever. Am I being prescribed an opioid? If so, is there a non-addictive option? If not, is a short-term prescription possible? Do I have any medical conditions that could increase my risk?
Drugs have really played a major impact on my professional goals, personal life, and my family life. Like I always had dreams of being like an engineer, or I wanted to be a SWAT officer when I was about 9 years old, but when we was living on 32nd and Clay between Marshall and Clay, I came outside and told the guys I wanted to be a SWAT officer, and they were street dudes. Me again being like in the street dude, they said don't be no police, don't be no slave to the Caucasian man, that's how they said it. But at the end, that kind of diverted me to that square life, street life, and trying to pick and choose at that young age right there. And I can remember the guy that told me he got killed, and I remember crying real bad, because I really looked up to that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of seeing that as a role model. And when he told me don't be a SWAT officer, that just kind of destroyed my, you know what I'm saying, my path that I'm going on. Even though my mama did the best she could to keep veering it back, because she knew what time it was out there. Going to school, I've been trying to go to school since 2007. 2007, I done changed my major about 9 times. I don't even know how that's possible. Wrote so many appeal letters, keep messing up my financial aid, because one thing about opiate abuse, in the beginning, you kind of got choices. I'm gonna take these today, I'm gonna set them down here, I ain't gonna take no more tomorrow. But once the physical aspect turns on, it's just a light switch that come on when you need this substance to function on a normal basis. I don't care if it's taking the trash outside, you need to get your shot on to operate normally. Because without the substance, you go through withdrawal, and to put it in layman terms, it's like the flu times 10. It's like a violent version of the flu. Your mouth got like a metal taste in it from the additives in the pills. Hot sweats, keep flipping back from cold to warm. Your appetite on nothing. It's just like a real violent, I call it a demonic possession, for real. And it lasts for about 29 days when you withdraw and trying to stop. That's why so many people are scared to get clean. Because getting over that hump of those withdrawals, it's like you really have to fight. Like, my homeboy said, make you feel like a king at night and a queen in the morning, man. Because at night when you go to bed, you feel like you're on the top of the world, but once you wake up, there go that cycle again. I need these pills to operate on a daily basis. So going to class, I won't go in unless I had the pills. And that's a full-time job. It ain't like you can just go up the street, here go the money jack, you gotta find them. It's like trying to find Where's Waldo sometimes, because you gotta get them from, and I ain't giving up the game to those who's still out there, but at the same time, based on my experience, you gotta rip and run to find them. They ain't just available as other substances like heroin or cocaine, where it's more abundant based on the production of it. These pills are man-made, so you got to get them from Walgreens here, old lady up the street. And if you ain't tied in with them on the first, second, third, whenever they get them, you out back, based on the demand of them, supply and demand, basically, in so many words. So 2007 to now, I'm finally at the bottom of my last 2 classes before I graduate. So that's what? That's 11 years, and it's a 2-year program. So that just goes to show you the vicious cycle of the pills. And this just on the chasing your dream spectrum. Like, family is just a whole nother picture, like, especially when you got kids involved. Because by default, they fall victim of the drug use as well, based on what you got to do to get these pills. You taking them into unsafe environments. You neglecting their common needs, clothing. Without my mom, I swear I don't know. Without her, like my daughter well-being, my son kind of caught the back end of it based on his age, but my daughter really seen the back and forth, the treatment. Daddy going to school, he on campus. Like, I got to make up lies to break down her, because I can't tell her that this is where I got to go to get myself together. But now the language is changing based on the age older she's getting. You know what I'm saying? Like, now it's a conversation that had to be held the last time I went to treatment. I went to treatment 7 times since the age of 23. And back and forth since the age of 23. You can't just leave her in the blind and she got to ask my mama what's going on with daddy. I have to have the conversation with her when it's time to leave. And that's like breaking consistency. That's giving inconsistency in her life at a young childhood that can manifest in other areas when she get older, based on decisions that I make. So it's like, I gotta go here, daddy gotta get himself together. Not paying the bills on time. Because it's like, it's three aspects to the disease of addiction that I really, really come to believe in. It's a mental aspect, which is the thought that overrides all other thoughts. Like, I know the bills due, I know the rent due, the lights ready to get cut off, but look, Jack, I need these pills so I can function. We gonna figure that out on the later end. We gonna figure that out later. And later ain't never came. The water get cut off, rent time to go, judgments at the door based on not paying your rent on time, and then look who getting the effects from it, and she ain't picked up a pill a day in her life. But her lifestyle the same based on how mine is getting carried. So the family gets bamboozled or in the rat race with you based on my decisions. It's like I ain't never seen something so small that can cause, because the pills ain't nothing but big as a nickel or smaller, that can cause disruption and just take a household and flip it upside down based on one person using, man. And to the untrained eye, it's like, why did this person keep on doing this? Like, it's kind of like trying to give somebody how you feel or what these pills is doing to you. It's kind of hard to explain unless you've been through it, but been through it yourself. That's why I surround myself with people that have been through it themselves. Experience, I believe, is the best teacher. Now, ain't nothing wrong with the book now. Don't get it confused. There's nothing wrong with book knowledge of the disease of addiction, but somebody that been through it themselves is indispensable. It's like, it's no comparison to talking to somebody that been through the same thing you've been through. Not so they can sanction it, like, yeah, man, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be like, the conversation, like, look, man, I went through it too. This how I went through it. Here what my consequences was. This how people looked at me, and it makes you feel a lot better about the situation. Because going to treatment 7 times, it's like, that's trauma. Because withdrawing is like, once the mental, the physical aspect gone, the pills play on your brain. It's like deep depression set in, paranoia set in, trying to hold a job down and maintain, because you got to maintain your how to function. So trying to maintain a job, you got 30 minutes on your break. The guy you called the school from said you're going to be here in 20 minutes. He be there 45 minutes later. Now you coming back late every time off your break. And people notice behavior change. My mama one of the best at it. I don't know how I pull wool over her ass, because she one of the sharpest knives in the drawer when it comes to street mentality, recognizing that book sense. She got best of both worlds. So I don't know how I pull screens or pull wool over her ass, but she probably already knew. She just probably gave me enough rope to hang myself so I can come to her, because she can talk till she turn blue. And until you ready to make a change yourself, you just gonna do what you do, and at some point in time, you gonna revert back to what you wanna do at some point in time, man. That's why when the individual go to treatment 12, 13, 14 times, that's what he's supposed to do or she's supposed to do until he or she can reach that point where, I'm doing this for me. Because each segment of treatment probably was just a stage in my development. Like, the first time I went, I stayed 5 days and left. I stopped by the desk. Dude told me I was gonna be back. I looked at him like he was crazy. But he saw it on me. He'd been in the profession for so long. He knew 5 days weren't enough, and I was taking 24 perks a day. I was taking 4 sets of 6, 4 sets of 6, 4 times a day. Those were 512s, 5 milligram pills. And I can remember when 2 did the job. So that just goes to show you the progression of the disease, man. Like, and it just don't stop there. They call it graduating. Like, a lot of people I know started off taking pills, they sniffing heroin now.
Over half of all people ages 12 and older who misuse prescription pain relievers get them from a friend or family member. Always safely store your medication to lessen the risk of it being mishandled or taken. It's important that an adult properly store their medication so that it does not fall into the wrong hands. Here are some safe storage do's and don'ts to consider. Do store in a place that only you know. Do lock away all medication and keep away from children. Do keep track of how many prescription pain pills are in your bottle. Don't share medication with someone else. Don't put medicine in a different container.
And I'm a prime candidate, because at some point the pills weren't gonna do it no more. Because I can remember graduating from pills to methadone pills. The methadone stays in your system longer. You don't wake up sick. You can chase better. So if I'm graduating from Percocets to methadone, what was the next one? Some of the things I did to get high, man, like, and I remember I was working at this tutoring company. No charges never came from it. I guess I can speak on it. I stole a laptop, a computer, an eye heater. What else? Stole about $40 out the girl pocket. It's over a period of time. Took the girl laptop, told her I was gonna take it to somebody to fix it, and they ain't show up to work with it the next day. Now I done sold the laptop. How am I explain the girl that it stole and she gonna ask me every day where her laptop at? So when it came to a head, they pulled me in the room, and the first thing I do is shrug my shoulders. I knew what time it was though, so I took it to various pawn shops. So I came home like, Mom, what we gonna do? She like, what we gonna do? What you gonna do? So we rode around to all these pawn shops. We probably got about 6 of the 7 items back, or 5 of the 7 items back that I took. And there was several people working at this tutoring, so nice looking women, it's embarrassing to have to return this stuff. So I asked them, like, Mom, you gonna walk in with me? She like, no, this is a long ride, you gotta take by yourself. So I had to walk all that stuff in there, go back to the car once or twice to get the next stuff, and bring all that stuff back in there, man. You talking about something humiliating, man. But I appreciate that experience because that's one of the things I don't never wanna feel again. Like, that embarrassment to take them people's stuff back, apologize. If they go on a rant rave about how they feel about I gotta sit there and take it. Now I'm withdrawing while I'm doing this, so you can imagine what I'm going through. I ain't got no pills of courage in me to say F it or nothing. I just gotta go in there off a withdrawn body, mind everywhere, ready to go in treatment in the next couple of weeks. And I gotta return this stuff to these people, man. I don't know if it's nobody in here that done did it, or their sister, brother, cousin, niece, nephew that's ready to do it, might do it, then did it already. I can be a person that they can talk to, like, and feel comfortable, because like, ain't nothing unique about the disease of addiction, meaning it ain't nothing that I did that ain't nobody else did before. Cause you can't talk to everybody because embarrassment might set in, you might feel guilty. Might be somebody that you done did it too, you know what I'm saying? But, and this come with understanding, cause for a long time, I don't know if my mama understood or was kind of letting me go, or staying kind of keeping a distance, cause I victimized her a lot too. Like, it was a set of rings that I took from her that she lost her best friend. They grew up around Ford together, been long-term friends, and I took some rings that they had, I know they was his or he got for her, but I took them and pawned them and couldn't never get those items back, man. And I went to the funeral and everything, man, when she went and buried them. But the stuff that you just can't replace, man, it's just like, apologies. Apologies decent, you know what I'm saying? But some stuff you just ain't gonna never be forgiven for. Some stuff ain't gonna just never be let go. Yeah, you clean now, but it's probably the biggest repayment I can do. And then another aspect of the disease of addiction is physical, like compulsive. Like, you want what you want when you want it. Like, you gotta have it, like by any means necessary. I just don't wish it on my worst enemy. Some people don't wish jail or death on their worst enemy. I don't wish this on anybody, but I was in treatment one day. They grouped us to death, about 6, 7 groups a day, RBHA men in the dining hall, in the first floor. I used to get tired of it, but when this guy named Dixon used to do groups, he used to talk about the brain all the time. And I think I was sitting there kind of like sleep or, I don't know, tired, laid back, but he started talking about the brain. And he said, and I'll never forget this. I said I was gonna get it and frame it in the frame. He said, something wrong with my brain that when I take my drug of choice, it's off to the races and I can't stop on my own. And it just registered with me like, dang, it's something chemically wrong with my brain that when I take perks, I'm incapable of stopping on my own, man. Because it's a mental disease. Like, I don't know if it's something on black and white or pill form they can come with to stop it. I probably wouldn't take it because I know the information that I got that tells me that this is progressive and the only way to defeat it is to surrender. Like, why keep fighting something and keep losing? I done lost 7 times. My track record showed me that every time I use, I end up back in treatment, then lost everything I didn't gain from getting clean previously and got to rebuild over and over and over again. Like, who want to keep going through that cycle and putting people through it? I ain't gonna do it again. The evidence is right there. Like, I remember the guy told me, he went to treatment before. He said he'll never go past the 3rd day. He'll leave his bags at the door. And once he started getting sick, he'll leave. So one day he was on his way out the door and there was a nurse. She showed him his portfolio from coming back and forth to treatment. And she just was flipping through the pages. His book probably big as the encyclopedia, you know what I'm saying, of his records from coming back and forth to treatment. And she said, Jack, what if I flip the page and it ain't no more room to put your information in because you dead or gone? And when he told me that, because he used to come see me in detox when I come back and forth. He'd be like, Sean, why you here? If not now, when? I'm like, what do you mean by that? If this ain't the time to get together, then when is it? Do I want to be 50, 60, 70 years old? No disrespect to people that is that age that's trying to get it together, because I understand it's a day-to-day process. But at the same time, do I really want to be that age trying to say, dang, I wish I was 29 again and got it right then? I can remember getting clean previously and trying to go back around the way and be a normal person. And I came to realize I'm not a normal person, man. I have an abnormal brain structure. I just can't do what certain people do. Like, I get married, I can't toast with the wine at the wine wedding, at the reception or whatever they do. I might be in the back in the pocketbooks and the gifts ready to return them back. You know what I'm saying? Or trying to play Christmas, I could be Santa Claus and ain't got turned into the Grinch later on and steal all the gifts from under the tree, man. Like, I'm just an abnormal person. And I realized that, so it's certain people I can't hang around. I used to try to get clean, try to hang around the way, and I feel like a fish out of water. Don't like alcohol. I just want something to feel different. I can remember trying to drink, but internally, I really, really, really wanted the pills again. So this was a slow process back to using. I don't know, man. I'm just blessed, man. But if I was a younger kid that's thinking about taking pills, just listen to what I'm saying. I'm just being real with you, man. This ain't the route to go. I don't indulge or do any substances as of this day. I'm about 7 months clean. But it ain't about the months. It's about what I do today that affects tomorrow, man. Tomorrow's what it was, today is the day. It's about 1 o'clock and I ain't bought no pills today. I'm just in the moment, man. And I'm Sean Reed.
Over half of all people ages 12 and older who misuse prescription pain relievers get them from a friend or family member. Always safely store your medication to lessen the risk of it being mishandled or taken. It's important that an adult properly store their medication so that it does not fall into the wrong hands. Here are some safe storage do's and don'ts to consider. Do store in a place that only you know. Do lock away all medication and keep away from children. Do keep track of how many prescription pain pills are in your bottle. Don't share medication with someone else. Don't put medicine in a different container.
On May 11th, 2016, my life would change forever. My oldest child, Blaze, would die of a drug overdose to prescription pills. You never want to think it's your child or I raised my child different than this. Parents, don't blame yourself, and please don't be in denial. But you do need to act now, and you need to act fast before this use turns into an addiction. I lost my son. Let me help you save yours.
Signs of prescription drug abuse. Looking for prescription drugs or suspicious activity around the medicine cabinet. Becoming irritable or anxious when opiates are not available. Constricted pupil, itching and scratching. Skipping work, class, or other activities, nodding or falling in and out of sleep, becoming sick when not using opiates, and displaying cold-like symptoms, and appearing fine shortly after.